I am so excited, Elizabeth. You are going to be my ultimate favorite guest, I swear, because everybody loves to talk about money, but it's the mindset of money. And that is why I'm so excited for you to be on my channel today and talking about this. So I'm going to go ahead and read your bio really quick. So those of people who don't know about Elizabeth, Elizabeth is a certified mindset and manifestation coach, as well as an intuitive, empathic reader. She uses a unique blend of science based on mindset techniques and intuitive, spirit-led structure to bridge the gap between the life that you have and the life you want that you dream about. Oh, that's definitely me. Her passion lies in working with busy moms and soulpreneurs just like herself, and considers it an honor to answer her calling in guiding them towards fulfillment. So, again, Elizabeth, I am so excited that you are here today. I'm going to go ahead and let you start talking. I know that, last time when we were on, you were asking me questions about my business, but I am just so excited for you to just give some advice and some motivation to the people who are watching today, whether they're in my Facebook group. We're going to post this all over the internet, but just to think about how we can talk about money and how that can, the mindset really, really is important. So go ahead.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm so excited to be here and I love you to bits. So I'm really excited that we get to keep working together like this. And I am really excited to be here talking about this because we're a great 1-2 punch, right? Like I've got the inner working on how to get your head into the game, and then you've got the logistics to take it that next step and actually make something happen. So I love the powerhouse that the two of us are together. And hi, Jonna. I'm saying your name right. It's great to see you. So I am going to keep this quick. The presentation that we're going to get a taste of is something that I usually give in like twice this amount of time. So we're going to give like broad strokes to this topic. And if it's something you're interested in, then let me know and we'll connect and we'll go much deeper into it. But Nancy gives you so much gold, right? Like I'm learning from her all the time about the things you need to do, right? Like the practical, actionable steps that you need to do. The problem there is that there's that little inner voice that starts nagging at you, like, oh, okay, but that works for other people, right? Like, that's not really going to work for me. Well, if that's you, if you've ever felt that way, then you are in the absolute right place because we're going to talk about it. So I've got some slides we're going to look at real quick here, assuming technology functions for us both. That'll be exciting, won't it? Okay. Yay. We're sharing. Okay. So you are here for the mind over money conversation. We're going to talk about transforming your wealth belief. And let's just find how I can make that move forward. There we go. Okay. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here. I know that it is a busy end of summertime or school's already started for some of us, and that is a really crazy time. So I appreciate you taking the time out to be here with us. It's really important because when you don't deal with the inner work around all of this, then you're going to find yourself self-sabotaging and not actually implementing the amazing tools that Nancy gives you. So if that's been you, like you've been ghosting in her group for a while and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then you never do anything about it. Welcome. Let's try, let's fix that now. Okay. Let's get there.
Small
So
actions add up to big results.
absolutely. It's true in compound interest. It's true in fixing your finances and getting out of that credit card debt. But if you don't take a look at the things that are holding you back first, then you never actually take those steps. So let's just real quick. You heard Nancy tell you my bio, but I wanted to just dive into who I am and why I am probably just like you. So listening to me could be beneficial. I am a wife and a homeschooling mom of 3. My kids range in age from ages 9 to just 3. So I keep busy. I'm also a certified mindset and manifestation coach, as well as an intuitive empathic reader. So what that means basically is that I like to bring the science and the spirituality to the table so that you get the best of both worlds. And to really empower you is my goal, which is why Nancy and I get along so well, because that's her goal too. Like, she gives you the tools so that you can do it. She's not offering to do it for you. She's offering to guide you to a way that works for you, which is why I think we're so amazing together. And I'm so excited to have met her. So we're here to really look at what your money mindset is and how it got that way, then talk about what having that particular money mindset does, what that impact is. Okay. And then we'll talk briefly about some techniques to begin shifting those limiting beliefs, but that's a topic that can go rabbit hole real fast. So we're just going to keep it real basic today. And again, if you want to go further, then we'll connect and make that happen. So understanding your current money mindset is the first and best place to start. Okay. And when you deal with money, what comes up for you? That's the first thing, because beliefs and limiting beliefs and the money mindset and all this stuff around that is basically just stories that we tell ourselves. Okay. It's all of the stories that we've absorbed, that we've conditioned to, that we've taken on in the process of becoming functional adults or semi functional adults, depending on where we're at in the process of our personal journey. And I just decided to freeze my screen. There we go. Okay. So they are not universal truths. This is a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. Your beliefs are just that. They are yours. They are a byproduct of your individual and personal life. No one else has lived your life, so no one else holds your beliefs. That means that you have control over changing them. Okay? That is the really good news when it comes to beliefs. So when we're trying to understand our money beliefs, there's a few things I want you to start thinking about when you talk about this. So they're a habit of thought. Okay. The stories that we tell ourselves that we've absorbed over time, they're a habit of thinking and they shape your perspective. The reality there is that your perspective shapes your world. Okay. The way you perceive the world is your reality. It's personal, but it's absolutely your truth. Right. And everything comes down to how you perceive it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's something you can work with, whether it's not. That's your perception. These are based on repetition. Okay. It comes from our upbringing, training, repeated experiences, right? It comes from our parents, our teachers, our coaches, our community leaders, our lawyers. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And it shapes how we personally approach money, whether it is an abundance or a lack, scarcity. We've all heard and dealt with those things. And what debt is to us, right? Because not all debt is bad. But when your debt starts to really control your life and it's all you're thinking about and your gut churning, then it is bad, right? Then it's a problem and we need to work with it. And when, like I said, you have someone like Nancy who's giving you these tools and yet you find yourself not able to implement them, there's probably a belief behind it that's stopping you from taking this amazing, beneficial information, tools, plans. Like, she hands you the plan. And if you're not doing something with it, then it's probably based in some of these beliefs. There's something that's holding you back. And not all beliefs are bad as well. We have different types of beliefs. There are core beliefs, and these are basically how you identify yourself. Empowering beliefs that, just like they sound, move you in the direction you want to go, and the limiting beliefs that hold you back. These drive our unconscious behaviors. And this is huge because science has shown that more than 80% actually of our daily activities are unconscious because our brains are efficiency engines. They automate as much as possible. Like, you don't think about taking a shower anymore. You don't necessarily think about driving home. How many times have you got in the car to go home and you get out and you're like, wow, I actually don't remember the drive. Really hope I stopped for all the stop signs, right?
Right.
Because your brain does this. It's really powerful. It frees you up. But if your brain is based off of a lack and a scarcity and money is too hard, I can never figure out how to get out of debt, then 80 to 90% of your daily activities are going to reinforce that. So guess where you're going to end up? Deeper in debt, right? So let's kind of zero this in for you about what I mean with all of this, okay? What the heck is a money mindset? What are money beliefs? If I asked you right now, money is, what comes to mind? What pops up for you? For some people, it's money is, right? Money is scarce. Money is whatever. So let me back up. Let me just throw out some that I have collected over the years. How about money doesn't grow on trees? Ever heard that, Chestnut?
Mm-hmm.
Cash is king. Time is money. A penny saved is a penny earned. A fool and his money are soon parted. Scarcity. Not worthy. Money is for other people. The rich are selfish or rude or cruel or, not like us, right? Have you heard any of those? Yeah, we all have. They're woven into the fabric of our society, of our consciousness. And it is no shame or blame that you've taken this on, okay? Because here's the thing about money. And Nancy talks about this a lot, I know, because we've connected on this. We do not get taught about how to deal with money. We just don't. I mean, in school, I remember being taught to count change, and that was about it. Maybe a little bit of mention of budgeting. Nobody talked about credit cards and interest rates and ARPs and like nobody taught us of this stuff. And yet we treat it as something shameful, as a failing of ourselves because we don't understand this, which is crazy because you don't expect an infant to know how to write an essay without any kind of guidance. But we do the same things to ourselves, right? Nobody ever taught us this stuff, and yet somehow it's our fault and we're wrong and bad for not knowing. Studies have shown that up to 77% of Americans feel shame about how uneducated they are about money. So if you're falling in that category, you're in very good company and it is not your fault. Okay. So right now, I want you to forgive yourself. Right now, do it. Okay. Say, I forgive me. See, we're all better. No, but you're already ahead of the curve because you are in Nancy's group, because you are connected with someone who's giving you that education. You have recognized you don't have it on your own and you're taking steps to do something about it. Right. And that is huge. So there's been studies that have identified a few different types of people's basically like money category, like how they approach money. There are money avoiders, money worshipers, money as status people, and then those who are vigilant with their money. And there's pros and cons to all of them, but basically the ideal place to be is in the vigilance category because that means it's not ruling your world. It's not something that you identify yourself through. It's just something that you need to pay attention to, like your nutrition and your fitness and your social and your mental and emotional well-being. It's just something you need to be aware of. So one of the really amazing tools to work with your money beliefs is to identify these limiting beliefs first, and then think about how you can tap into an empowering money mindset, which is abundance. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But so how do you find these limiting beliefs? Like we've talked about them, you're on board, right? Can we just acknowledge that you're on board, that they're no good? Maybe, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of them that are out there.
Right. Yes. And it's not your fault that you have them, right? We've gone over that. We've said, I forgive me. So what do you do about them, Elizabeth? I am so glad you asked. So glad. So how do you find them? Pay attention to the self-talk, right? Like we just talked about those phrases that we've all heard that have snuck into our psyches. What are your patterns with money? I mean, we're in this group, so a lot of us have had a pattern of credit card debt. Okay. Yeah. Now we can get educated around that. What are the shoulds you tell yourself? These ones are my favorite because shoulds represent a belief that you hold that you don't actually think is true. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm going to repeat it for you. Should identifies a belief that you hold that you do not actually think is true. But enough people have told you that you should, so you accept it. How messed up is that? Oh my gosh, it drives me insane, right? Like if we thought it was true, we'd say I am, or I do, or I have to. Have to's is another one, but I should is something it's other people's baggage we've taken on, right? And that's just let's just be on a mission to get rid of the shoulds, shall we? And then disproportionate reactions. Okay, so if you get the credit card bill in the mail and the first thing you do is like swing into hyper rage, or you just fall into sobbing depression on the floor, this is a disproportionate reaction to getting a piece of paper in the mail. We can all accept that, right? But it's a clue that there's something way more going on under the surface. And we know the surface level of, oh my God, I'm going to see those numbers and it's just so bad. And Nancy said my usage shouldn't be over 30%, but I swear I can't get it under 90%. What the hell am I going to do? Okay. All of that, yes. But then what's under all of it, right? Like what is generating this behavior that leads to these things? I mean, sometimes it's emergency stuff and we can't help it. But like I said, if you're being given the education and the tools and you're still not using them, that's when we have to start looking at these beliefs. So ask yourself some questions. These are really powerful, and then I'll supercharge through the rest of it so we can get us out of here on time. But the questions to start with when it comes to these beliefs is it true? Right? Like, is it true that money doesn't grow on trees? That one's one of my favorites, actually, because cash, which we don't use as much of anymore, but it's still like an integral part of our currency system, is literally a cloth product. It comes from trees. So technically, it actually really does grow on trees. So it's another fallacy. So ask yourself, is that actually true? Is this belief I hold? Can I really not get out of credit card debt? Well, probably not, because Nancy says that she's gotten out of debt. She's proved it to me. She helps other people get out of debt. So people can get out of credit card debt. It's possible. Okay, so that's not true. Are you sure? Yeah, look at all this evidence. People are getting out of it all the time. How do you know whether it's true or not? Like, start knocking holes in it. How does it feel to claim this belief, right? Like, if your belief is that I will never get out from this mountain of credit card debt, no matter what I do, what does that feel like? Does it feel like expansive and possibilities? Heck no, it feels like your atlas, right? Like you were buried under a crushing weight. And you don't want that, or you wouldn't be here. And who would you be without this belief? Would you be the person who takes Nancy's amazing nuggets and starts going out there right that second and starts doing it? I mean, that's who I want to be. So we talked about the common money limits, right? The scarcity, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not worthy of having money. It's for other people. The rich people are this, that, and the other. So kind of sit with those and see which ones resonate for you. Are you one of those people who believe money is the root of all evil? Okay, well, I hate to break it to you. You're going to have a really messed up relationship with money for a long time, and you're going to need to work on that, right? Or money is of no object. That may explain why you have some credit card debt. I'm just saying, we might need to work on that a little bit, okay? Just being aware, though, awareness is absolutely crucial. And Nancy talks about this as well. Like you have to actually look at it, right? Like I love that she talks about, if you're wanting to lose some pounds, you're going to have to step on the scale first and understand where you're starting. If you want to get out of credit card debt, if you want to get into a place where you're abundant and money is working for you, you're going to have to look at the reality of where you are. And it may be a little rough, and that's why you need people like us to hold your hand through it, because it can be it's scary, right? It's no fun. Nobody wants to do that, but you have support here ready and willing to work with you. So get that help. Take a look at it. Then once we're past the reaction, we can start to do something about it. But no change happens unless you take a look, unless you start from an awareness place. Okay? So I am running us out of time fast, but I did want to talk really quickly about some of the tools that you can use. Once you have looked at these limiting beliefs that you hold, once you've spent that time really going, okay, this is where it's coming from. This is how it feels. I've asked myself the questions. I don't want it anymore. What am I going to do with it? Great question. Power of words. Okay. People talk about them as affirmations, hypnotic suggestions, mantras, whatever you want to call them. Words have power, and this has been proven by science. And it's backed by the most successful people in every possible field over and over and over again. Okay. They literally reprogram your brain. And we talked about how 80+% of your daily activities is this unconscious stuff driven by these limiting beliefs or powering beliefs, depending on. So let's start getting that autopilot working for you, right? Let's reprogram it so it's heading you in the direction of abundance, debt freedom, and calm when it comes to money, right? Can you just imagine getting to that place where money feels expansive, you feel secure, you feel in control, you know you have the tools to work with whatever situation comes at you. That's where we want to go, right? So creating affirmations is not about the I am a millionaire. And you say that enough times that you just get there. That's where I had a
No,
problem with affirmations. No, like I am love, I am light, I am worthy. No, just no. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about.
that's
When
a
I
real
talk,
dream world there, just to say I'm a millionaire, and then all of a sudden it just shows up on your doorstep.
right, if you want to go that route, there's a number of YouTube subliminal messages you can listen to, and you let us know how long it takes you to get there. Okay. If you would like to go the route that actually is likely to make a difference for you, this is what I work with my clients on as one of our first tools. These are targeted, personalized, powerful phrases that reprogram your brain and your belief system. Okay. This is how you move into abundance by creating these affirmations. So, one of the first things, and this might seem silly, but one of the first things you're going to do is identify your money word. What word feels empowering to you? For some people, money just feels like pressure, like your chest just gets all tight and your stomach gets all, oh. For some people, cash is like a dirty word because, cash is really dirty and I don't even want to touch it, right? So find the words that you don't like and find the words that you do. Is it money for you? Is it cash, wealth, abundance, flow? You can find a word that really resonates for you and lean into it, okay? Because once you do, then you can start to write these really powerful phrases for yourself. And when you do that, I want you to think about what does abundance mean to you, right? Is it security? Is it possibility? Is it freedom? I mean, there's so many things that it could be. So get clear on that and claim having that in the here and now. Reprogram your brain with it by turning that phrase into, this word feels good for me. And this is what I want to feel more of. So for me, wealth is security. I am attracting wealth and feeling secure every day would be a really powerful personal phrase. Can you see how that would work? And then you say it to yourself in a habitual way. I can guide you through all of that. And it starts to reprogram you. And then you start to tap into your reticular activating system, which is your manifestation tool in your brain. It starts to focus you on that. If you're working with Nancy, you could say, I am in control of my credit cards and my usage is decreasing daily. Something along those lines, because you're reflecting the positive of what you're working towards, right? And I am feeling in control, and that feels good to me. And then you avoid triggers. Like if the credit card bill is a trigger for you, and every time you get it, you're just like, oh, go paperless. Set up a rule so you don't see it. Like be mindful of where you are, but just stop getting it in front of your face so you don't be reactive. And then you don't have that trigger and you can be in the proactive, right? If by the time you receive your statement, it should not be a surprise. If it is, that's a problem. You need to work with Nancy more. So your statement should just be telling you what you already know anyway. You don't really need to see it if it's triggering you. Okay. And then empower yourself by working with someone like Nancy to get the guidance, to get the support. And if you're ready for more in your mindset, then come talk to me and we'll talk about it. Okay. And the thing I want to leave you with, there's so many more tools I want to give you, but I'm already going over, so I don't want to stay too
That's
much long.
okay. We've got, the nice thing is that we're doing a live broadcast and people can come back to it. So feel free if there's anything else that you'd like to talk about.
Oh my gosh, so much,
I
you
know,
guys.
I know.
I mean, I could talk to you about the metaphysics behind all of this. I could talk to you about using visualization as a part of this. I could walk you through a whole visualization to get to your abundance place. There's so much. But the thing I want to leave you with, because this is kind of a core, and it's funny because usually I start here, but I want to leave you with it so it's a takeaway, is get in touch with your wealth why. Okay. This is something almost every coach and motivational speaker and change and activist will tell you to do. And it's a reason. Get in touch with your wealth why. Why do you want wealth and security and abundance? Why do you want to be debt free? Why will you work for it? Why is it worth stretching yourself? Because you don't have to be here listening to us right now. You don't have to come to our master classes. You don't have to come to these presentations. You don't have to do any of that. You can do anything you want with online time. And there's a whole lot of reels out there that can suck up a bunch of your time. Why will you spend the time studying what Nancy shares, listening to what I'm talking about, writing your affirmations, getting in touch with what abundance means to you, analyzing those limiting beliefs? Why is it worth doing the work? Why is it worth getting uncomfortable with the awareness of where you're at? Because until your why is stronger than where you're at, you will not change. Nothing will change for you because you don't have a big enough reason to get uncomfortable, and your brain will fight you every step of the way because it's based off of outdated software. Our brains are still in the place where stepping outside means facing a saber-toothed tiger. And so we're not going to do that. Change is scary. Anything new is bad. Okay. You need to have a bigger reason than that outdated mandate to stay alive. You need to have a reason to face the saber-toothed tiger of credit card debt. You need to have a reason to face the bully mammoth that is this limiting belief that's sabotaging you from doing the things that Nancy told you to do. So when you get in touch with that wealth why and you hold that close, you can make it a part of your affirmations, of your visualizations. You can put a little note for yourself next to all of the amazing tips and tools that Nancy's got ready for you. And that is how you're going to move forward because that is going to be bigger than the things that are trying to hold you back and making the excuses. Okay. There is so much more I would love to share with you. We will have to do it another time because I want to respect our time and we've already gone over a little bit. If you have questions, please do share them here. We'll check back and make sure that everybody gets their answers. But I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with us. I want to thank Nancy so much for having me and letting me share this with you. It has been an absolute delight and pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. I have learned so much just by listening to you as well. And, you're exactly right. I mean, when you asked about phrases of what do you remember, you get what you pay for. Whoever Fanny Arbuckle is, but that's what my mom would say. Fanny Arbuckle always says you get what you pay for. And it's so true. You have these ongoing phrases in your head that you can't get rid of because they're so ingrained. So yeah, awesome, 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 and I'm excited. We're gonna work together again, and I'm loving it because it's reframing your brain to focus on the other things and stop with the negativity and focus. But you're right. You don't need to say I'm going to be a millionaire. It just says I'm going to work on my credit card debt, and it's continuously decreasing. That is something so reasonable for people to attach to without having it being a pipe money dream. So awesome
Exactly. Give
advice.
yourself little steps in the limiting beliefs as much as you do in starting to take control of the debt.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. It absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Well, again, thank you so much. And I know we're going to put some comments below this video. So then if you're interested in working with Elizabeth, you can go ahead and get in contact with her. She does have a group. I'm off the top of my head. I forgot what the name of the group was, but please let me know what that is again. What's the
Dawn
group?
of your dreams.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. So if you want to learn more about Elizabeth and how her services work, reach out to her and she can definitely help you out. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight with me.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yes.